So I want to see if I can get a web worker going. So let's create a controller that can serve up a specific web worker. So we'll go mix phoenix gen HTML. Or is it generate? Generate JSON endpoint. Let's see. Mix generators. Return JavaScript. Well, let's not use a generator. I think we can just do this by hand. So we can go into front-end web controllers. We'll create a new controller called web worker controller. Or maybe it's a, is it a thing on the space? Space controller web worker? Maybe? Try that. Space controller. And we'll just copy some boilerplate from here. And the space controller. Space controller. And remove this for now. And we can have an endpoint for web worker. And delete everything else. And what do we want to return in web worker? Let's just so we'll
so leave the number, go directly behind it instead of a 3/4, just go directly behind it.
We need a templates folder.
Yeah.
Spaces.
I think I know which one you're gonna say, but the one on top.
Edit.
Yeah.
Where's the rename? Spaces. Templates. Spaces. Views. This. Spaces. View.
I wouldn't mind because that's you can see
Spaces. View.
and then your idea.
Okay. Routers. Goes into get /spaces web worker goes to spaces controller and web worker.
Yeah, because like.
And here we want to render. So we're going to give back JavaScript. Okay, do this. Web worker JS. And now we got to create that template, which is in spaces. And we'll say web worker dot JS dot HTTP.
Okay. From 16 to 30.
X, I guess. And console.log hello world. So happens here if we try to access this. We have spaces / web worker JS. Web worker cannot be dumped to type binary ID query. Let's go back to the router. Oh, I already have a spaces thing here. Let's not call this spaces. Let's go start web worker. / web worker. Warning, an embedded script tag on another site requested protected Java. If you know you didn't disable forgery protection for this route. Protection for this route. An embedded script tag on another site requested protected JavaScript.
But I'm wondering if we could either be a little bit lighter or something because we're so close to the gate.
If cross origin JSON.
Or drop the camera lower.
We don't really need to create another endpoint, actually. We can just load the plugins and JavaScript in line, I think. Yeah, so let's undo what we did.
No, it's because he's tired.
I have both of you report.
Poor Captain is
Okay,
tired.
check out everything.
I already have it.
Git.
I already have it.
I do,
I'm pretty happy this mirror thing. I'm pretty sure everybody is happy with the mirror. The mirror and the bonus this year, because it's a huge one.
Untracked files. What is that called? Untracked files. Git clean -fd.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Ranger just told me it's already has a mirror. That we can get.
I'm wondering on this shot.
Paycheck.
So I don't know. Baskets.
She said that.
Near the window with drop in it.
You basically got the highest limit that you can
Okay.
I think
so another way of doing this is just inside the
I think. Isn't it? I don't know.
And then the idea that I liked that you did was
types here. So say you had a list of plugins. You can create a new worker out of the blob. So worker and we need either a string or URL. So worker URL and the let worker URL equal URL dot create object URL from a worker blob and worker blob
So same thing with the camera at this point because
you can say that this is the MIME type of this. Type is, okay, what is the MIME type of JavaScript? What is MIME
it should
type
feel like the cameraman is on a steady cam.
Yeah.
As like a handheld,
This is application JSON text / JavaScript.
Yeah.
And so if we have something like this, log. Hello.
Yeah, just wonder if you, or like a line
So
back.
this will just
So it looks like
execute in the worker.
once they throw one block down,
Does this work? Let's
they
try.
have to reload. They have to have more blocks. I mean, theoretically, it's a set message thing.
Server.
Put it in here to indicate that you have to set address one at the top.
I know Ryan too, so. Yeah, he's very nice to work with.
We're looking at router experiment. Okay, so go to localhost / experiment. Let's pull up the inspector. Hey, we got this executing. Great.
So, the mentor, I guess. Yeah, I know. Like,
So now we want to send a message to the worker. So we can say worker.post message anything. And how about just
you really don't.
if it's an array, it has command add and then 1 and 2. Okay, and then over here we're going to have that worker code become this bit.
But this one is so Doom-like.
And we can say
It's too big
on message
but the other one definitely.
and equal
It has a lot of space.
some message, type any, and we can say console.log worker received message. We're done. And this, get the code for the worker code. So anytime you receive a message there, you do this. And let's also do this. Window my worker. Here. Okay, it received a message. It's trusted data. Oh, cool. Type message. And we could give it new messages. So if we say worker dot post message, we can give it 0. And we get a new message back. How fast is this? Pretty fast. Almost instantaneous. Message, receive message, is just data.
Yeah, I kind of saw what you guys were doing, but I
Type
still
message.
different than I doing it,
Okay, so we can modify this to say message.data. And also if message data 0 equal
we'll see what Jim decides, or what line they
equal add. And also log sum is
well, from what Ginger was telling me, she wasn't so sure,
and give back
we are doing
message
and the
data
company is going to crunch it for us.
1 plus message data 2.
Okay, because Ginger was saying that they have somebody assigned to do
Oh yeah, it added it together. And if I give it another, add, and 5
and
and 6.
If Fowler's walking out of the way,
Ooh, cool.
the cameras will be initiated to follow.
Send a message through, getting a message back.
Now, there's no way he's going to go, okay, fire, and then
You
walk
can also
out
get messages back here.
Yeah, that's too many movements.
So we could change
to do it cleaner.
this part to,
Once the army gets
instead of console logging it, here we would just do post message,
walk out, initiate the camera move, have him walk out,
post
and then we'll get a true shot of Fowler and Shindo
would be
go ahead.
result
When we get the one
and this. That will go back into the main window. And so if we just do this, fail to execute post message, overload resolution failed on message. Post message is itself. Fail to execute post message on dedicated.
Oh, you mean the assistant?
Overload resolution failed on message. Okay. Excuse me.
I'm suggesting they should be a safe distance away because that's gun would be really loud. They're sending a little bit too close to the action. I would say Shindo is further away, right? Yeah. So how did Fowler end up there again?
Oh, maybe post message can't take multiple things, right? So we have to send back one thing. Which is an array. There we go. And then over here we say worker.on message. And
I understand what you're talking about. But it was just, I was just
like this.
Condition watching, Ginger stuff out. That's why I just wasn't sure.
I'm actually okay.
And then it's equal to something, so we have to set it equal to something. So incoming, and we just console log this. Console log incoming from worker is incoming.
And
So
also,
what does it say? And dot data, I think. Event message data. Okay, so here we get a result, and if I want to add 5 to 6, we get a result of 11. And that's an example of having a web worker. I also want to test that window object can't be accessed. So if here, in here, if I try to do something like console log, what are the cookies? Let's check the cookies. JS read cookies. Document.cookie. So in here, for example, I could do document.cookie. No cookie here. Okay, but it didn't fail. It's an empty string. No cookies are set. And then can I do the same thing here? Cookie is document.cookie. What would happen here? So if I go back, document is not defined. And does that break the calculator? So if I do this, yeah. Well, it still executed at that point, so it wasn't a full failure, but what happens if we do try and catch around this? Error. Okay. So we can't access the document. It's document is not defined. Great.
Yeah, you know, maybe it is a 2 shots of him saying that. You know, where Shindo's
So if we move the post message outside of that, that thing's free to fail, or it won't fail.
Yeah, it's now it's on 6 weeks.
And without this, it would have prevented the message from processing, so it would fail. Yep.
Okay.